What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Game week 12. It's the game week we have been dreading or we've been hoping for. I don't know. It depends on where your rank is this season. But it's here. It's finally here. The dreaded Arsenal, number one, not playing. Man City, number two, not playing. Oh no. We're going to get into a couple things for this episode, this game week. First off, we're going to talk about three topics, so stay tuned for that because we have should you free hit? Is it a good time to free hit? Maddison replacements, and then a captaincy section that isn't pick Holland. Okay, let's move on to the teams. It's mind blowing, everyone. Oh man, we're so excited to get into this game week. And then we're going to talk about our teams going into game week 12. But before we hop into those conversations, my man Doc, he's here with us. He's excited. He's my co host. Doc, introduce yourself. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Salah's back. That's all what I'm gonna say. Salah is back.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
So we have a big debate coming up. I know your feelings about Salah. Again, as usual, I still haven't seen your planned transfers. I'm wondering if you're gonna bring him in. But if I had to bet right now, you are not bringing him in. Nice debate to have. I can't wait to talk about Maddison replacements. It's not as clear as it seems to be. I've been tweeting about this, so let's get into this episode.
Yeah, I never kiss and tell. All right. So, speaking of kissing, do you kiss your free hit goodbye this game week? Doc, what do you think, man?
First of all, what a segue. This is phenomenal. You should be on entertainment shows and stuff. But anyways, I've been DM'd a couple of times regarding the free hit. A couple of people DM'd me asking if they should free hit or no. And all my answers to them were do not free hit after looking at their teams. And I'm kind of trying to get a rule of thumb. So let's say if you can field 9 without a hit, or 10 with a hit, I would save the free hit. So I've been thinking about this before we started recording this episode, and I think that's a good rule of thumb. Most people will have probably 4 Arsenal and Man City combined, so you have 10 players and Maddison, that makes it 9. So with one hit, you can field 11 technically. If you still have James and injured, then you have 8 with one hit. You still can go up to 10. I think the free hit will be even more valuable. Again, it's team dependent, but like I said, I'm trying to find this general answer to this question, and my answer is if you can field 9 without a hit or 10 with one hit, I would keep. Even if you want to take 2 hits to field 11, which I probably wouldn't depending on the team, I would save the free hit because I think it will come in handy in the second half of the season. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, the free hit, I mean, it's one of those coveted cards that you wait till a double game week to use. And I know a lot of people wait for all their cards for a double game week. Me, I hate the bench boost. It can get out of here as fast as possible. But I think if you can field a team or at least get enough quality players that you think, you have 10 players playing and they can beat the average 11, and you can do it in a hit, that's fine. If you can do it in 2 hits, it's a little more dangerous, but hey, if you're that confident, go for it. I wouldn't really recommend it. I think the other thing that is kind of throwing a wrench into everybody's plans is injuries, which we'll talk about Maddison coming up. Myself, I have Thiago Silva. He's 75%, but he did get a knock at the end of the game. What do I do there? I think you have to weigh your risk and reward. Now, if you have people that are definitely out, count them as an Arsenal and as a Man City player. Really. Like Maddison, he's got a red flag on him. Just he's another blank for you. But I think if you can do it in one hit, go ahead and make it happen, even if it only gets you up to 10. If you can do it in 2 and you feel like you're really bringing in some big time bruisers that are going to rack you up 1,000,000 points, okay, all right, not recommended, but I love a good set of risk in FPL. Have at it. Hold on to it, please. Unless you're friend of the show, FPL Penguin, popped his free hit 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. I thought he was crazy. I was rooting for him, but He doesn't have his free hit now, so he doesn't even have to worry about it. So if you already used your free hit, this spot's not even for you.
Well, regarding Thiago Silva, Joe, I don't want to say that I told you so, but I told you so. So yeah, the guy is 700 years old with midweek games. That was, anyways. This is off topic, but I had to rub it. Anyways, so so regarding the free hit, like I mentioned, I think it's more valuable in the later, especially we have literally one game which is postponed. So you have the Arsenal and Man City, and most people have a lot of Arsenal and Man City players, but you would want those players also back in, let's say, 13 because they have nice fixtures, both teams. So I wouldn't really use the free hit kind of to because of one game, because in the double game week and we have blank game weeks coming up and should be bigger blank game weeks, and the free hit will become even more handy. And like I said, it's very unlikely that someone has 3 and 3 Arsenal and Man City, so total 6 with James, with Maddison. It's extremely unlikely. In that case, I would probably go to the extreme of free hitting because you have four playing players, maybe Perisic, which is you don't know he's going to start or no. So if you're in that really extreme situation, which is unlikely because we knew about this blank game week long time ago that it was coming. So most people actually planned for this blank game week. But if you're in that case, yeah, I would probably free hit if I had like 8 players out. Otherwise, I would save it.
Speaking of weighing necessities, the necessity to swap out Maddison, find a replacement for him. Doc, who's on your radar? Because I know you finally joined the Maddison Club and everybody ruined him for me. Y'all brought him in and then he got hurt.
Well, at least he wasn't injured. He got 3 yellow cards in a row, like in 3 game weeks in a row. That's insane for a suspension. But I've been preparing my team for game week 12 for a while now, so I had that backup in mind. I had 11 with Maddison, but Maddison got himself suspended. So I'm just going to transfer him out, simple as that, because he was a transfer out anyways around game week 13 when the fixtures swing. Now, the first thing I thought, the moment I saw that yellow card, I was like, Trossard is coming in, as simple as that. But I have this something disturbing me, like Trossard is not the right choice. Because, like I mentioned, Trossard, as I mentioned in my tweets, Trossard was taken off on the 67th minute with Brighton losing 2-0, so needing a goal. So the fact that the manager took out, less arguably, Brighton's best player when they needed a goal, best potential for attacking returns, taking him out and substituting him, that gave me some doubts. And then thinking about it, he's a new manager. We saw Potter doing it, and now the new manager is probably gonna try kind of giving everybody a clean slate, trying to give everybody a chance to prove themselves. So I'm pretty worried about Trossard. I might well end up playing him or buying him instead of Madison because I was looking around for choices. So you have really limited choices when it comes to this price point and who's available and who's not and who might have an upside. The other options are Mount or Sterling. Yeah, you can go there, but they have Brentford, and Brentford are at home. They can be a tough team. Mount has played every minute, not every minute, but every match under Potter, so you don't know if he might be due a rest, and it's a midweek game. Sterling started as a wing back in the past game, and then in the halftime he was moved up front more. So I have my doubts regarding those two. Other options are extreme punts. Like I was looking at Leeds players. Aronson is a choice, but I think I have one too many Americans in my life. We have Sinistera also is a great shout, but Sinistera rarely plays 90 minutes, if at all. Aronson's probably the best choice from Leeds, but again, it's very unpredictable. He can score a goal and assist, and then you have 3 bonus, and he can do well or he can blank. So it's kind of a bit unpredictable. If you want to really go crazy, you have the Aston Villa fixture versus Fulham. It is away, and again, going back to Leeds, they're playing Leicester, who are somehow keeping clean sheets now. So it's not like they're gonna score a lot of goals. So the choice is there in this price point, especially if you have already Zaha, if you have those players in this price point, then the only choice kind of is Trossard. But again, there's something bugging me about Trossard, but he's the, let's say, the best choice among the rest. But he is a minus risk, and I'm worried about it.
I don't get that gut feeling that you've gotten. Trossard's my guy. I'm looking at. I think he has all right fixtures coming up. He's got a good game week 12 fixture. Watching him come off early. I mean, we've seen Conte what 2 weeks ago. He pulled off basically all of his main guys that even had an opportunity to score a goal and just put on a bunch of academy players and called it a game. Before yesterday's games, I was like, okay, maybe Bowen could be a transfer. Bowen sucks. Then I was looking at Mount. Okay, Mount's gotten a couple goals. I think he's probably your next best option. Yeah, the Leeds boys. Leeds is a fun team to watch without Rafinha because everybody plays so much better and everybody has a lot of creativity and energy. Yeah, Brendan Aronson, who's a new player this year, but he came in. He's excited. He's all over the field. He's getting touches absolutely every moment that he possibly can. Sinistera, I feel like he's not in the system yet to get the full payoff of playing with the team because they brought him in. He was just getting warmed up to the team. He got injured. He never really got a chance to get up and running. Although he's probably one of the best attacking options that Leeds have. So I think once he gets there, he gets healthy. He's going to be ridiculous. So yeah, it's kind of feast or famine right now for midfielders because, like you mentioned, a lot of people already have Zaha and Son because Salah's not that great. Players like that.
There are options like you mentioned, but there is no one obvious option. Like Trossard was obvious until what happened on the weekend. So yeah, like it's a good week to take a punt, definitely. But we're gonna move on to the next segment regarding captaincy, and Trossard is a shout if we know he starts.
Yeah, I have a couple options down for captaincy, and some of them you're going to like, some of them you're going to hate. And I'm so proud of myself that I can keep doing this for you, Doc, every week, week in, week out, and it doesn't get boring. Yeah, I was looking at Trossard. He's an option against Forest. Uh, Kane. Kane is not returned in one game. And I know somebody said, oh, well, he's only gotten double digit returns twice this season, and it's been 10. And I'm like, but if you can get an option that you know is going to score at least one, wouldn't you take that? Yeah, you want your captain to return. Kane seems as sure as almost anyone else. Then Mitrovic. Okay. Now my two, I guess, crazy ones is Trippier and Solanke. Think about that. So Bournemouth, they've gotten Solanke 2 attacking returns the last 2 weeks, right? And if you want to get really wild with a Bournemouth shout out, get Billing. Use Billing as your captain. That's the next level differential captain play. And Trippier, I mean, Newcastle's just got a pretty rock solid defense, and Trippier is going to get your clean and maybe more. Doc, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't hate Trippier at all because Newcastle are playing at home. They are solid defensively, so the clean sheet is likely. Everton cannot score a goal to save their lives. So I think everything is falling nicely for Trippier. And then he's on corners, he's on set pieces, he's on indirect free kicks, he's on everything. He's a bonus magnet. So I really, really, really don't hate the Trippier shout. And surprisingly, I agree with you. Billing is a bit pushing it. I wouldn't captain Billing. I will be more likely to captain Solanke over Billing, but still I wouldn't captain Solanke. In this game week, probably you have the chance to punt on captaincy because not everybody is going to captain Haaland as usual with 200 effective ownership. My favorite captaincy, of course, is Salah. The Egyptian king is back. I already have him. I'm just gonna captain him. Joe is bored, but he seems like he doesn't like points. So so I would probably captain Salah. I would prioritize Salah if you can get him in without ruining your whole team. I would probably get him in if I don't already have him and captain him. Guaranteed minutes. Whole front line of Liverpool is decimated with injuries. Jota's out, Diaz is out, so he's guaranteed his minutes at least. So we're not worried. Oh, it's midweek, he might be benched. So at least we have that going for us. That's the minimum. He's on penalties. He's back. He's playing more centrally. I think it's the right time to captain him. West Ham are not going to just lay down and concede goals. So it's not going to be an easy match. I don't expect like a hat trick from Salah. He can might as well score a hat trick. but I do not expect it at the moment. If he gets a return and a half, let's say a goal and assist, I'll be happy, but he's the obvious choice this game week. Like I mentioned in the segue, probably Trossard is my second favorite if we get almost guarantees that he's going to start. Brighton's new manager, mentioned that Lallana is definitely starting, or at least he said playing in the midweek game. So that kind of caused a bit of panic on FPL Twitter. Is it going to be for Gross? Is it going to be for one of the attackers? Is it going to be for Trossard? People are speculating. So Trossard is worrying me, but if we get any sort of information that Trossard is starting, he's my second favorite option. Funnily, I would say Trippier is my third one. So if you really want to punt out there, I think that's a great shout, Joe. Yes.
I left Liverpool people out, but I get where you're coming from with Salah. I mean, he did get a goal this weekend, a critical goal against Man City. I would say if you really want to go with an exciting one return Liverpool player, Captain Allison. He got the assist, right? Yeah, that seemed way more fun. Let's go for that.
And and three bonus. He hold this week.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying he might crush Salah. All right, so now we're gonna slide on over to looking at our teams that we got set up for this game week. And I got myself up first because I don't even know what we're doing anymore. It's wild and crazy. So this last game week, I got a score of 52 points. Kind of unfortunate because I had Tony on the bench, and he was my first slot. So I was hoping literally anybody got injured in warm-ups and just had a little, muscle thing and wasn't going to risk it. But that's my second week of throwing Tony points on the bench, so I'm not making that mistake this week. Holland, get on the bench, buddy. As you can see, what I got going on here is I no longer have Maddison. I already made my transfer. I'm going Trossard. I don't care. Don't overthink it. I'm just doing it. Yeah, I have Thiago Silva with the yellow flag. Like I said, he's at 75%. I'm not super worried about it, honestly, but we'll see what comes from it because, I mean, there's 25% chance he could sit. And it is short turnaround for the game week. That's all right because then I'm working with 10 players and most people that will be working with 10 players took a -4. So I'm feeling good about that. It's basically positive points to have them sit out.
Who are you captaining?
Uh, I don't know yet. I'm still figuring that out. On the thing, I just have it on Solanke because I thought it'd be funny to put it on there and put it on our video since I gave him a shout out anyways. Against Southampton, sure, as good as anything else, right?
Yeah, but probably. You did the transfer that I'm probably gonna do as well, so I don't blame you there. The team picks itself. For the first time, I don't really have deep comments regarding your team. You're still ahead of me in the, let's say, the rankings,
Barely.
but
Barely.
barely. Yeah. But I have my bench boost, so we'll see how it goes in game week 38. But anyways, uh, like I mentioned, I would love for you to get OR number one. I don't mind it. I support you, and that's why we have this channel and we have this conversation a lot. I would probably captain Trossard if we get information that
Hmm.
he's starting somehow, some leaks, some way. If he's starting, otherwise I would look at Trippier, like you mentioned. But yeah, Solanke is not a bad shot. It's the week of punts, so it's one of
Yeah.
those weeks. Whoever you're gonna captain, I'll probably say, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems about right. That's my team. The one thing that I want to mention before we go into your team, Doc, is you did mention that I'm just a little bit ahead of you. And I think I threw a tweet out about it. Like it seems like there is such a tight area of points between 1 million up to like the top 100K. Because if I had Tony on this last game week, I would have actually been like 100 and like 10K or something like that. And that's just 12 points separates me from like 300,000 uh, boost up there. And the game is still open is really what I'm trying to say for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, the top million to 100,000, they're very close. it seems like the top, let's say 10,000 are just a bit far away from the top million, but the top 100K, let's say if you want to hit 150K and you're a million now, it's one good week can get you to like 400,000, and next game week you're 150,000. So they are condensed in this kind of rank. So I understand what you're saying because I had Anderson, and Anderson's 5 points jumped me like 100K when not many people have Crystal Palace defenders. So just jumped me 100K when I was watching live FPL. So they're very condensed, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see right here as I bring your team up. I mean, I think in overall points, you're 2 points lower than me, and you're 30K behind. Like, yeah, that's nothing. That's that's
Yeah.
nothing at all.
I'll save everybody some time. I'm doing Maddison, probably Trossard. Again, we had the discussion about the Maddison replacements, and you heard all my thoughts. I'll wait till tonight. Maybe we get something, some information, but probably it's going to be Trossard because the lack of options. And that's about it. Captain the Egyptian King. Let's go. Otherwise, that's the team.
Yeah, it's fine. Hey, you finally got James out. I'm glad about that. Salah's in your team. Yeah, one return. I guess that get me pretty excited too if he didn't do anything all season. I get that. Yeah, makes sense for you to captain him. Good luck,
Well, I
man.
expected this dig. I expected this dig. The main one I'm worried about is actually Perisic. So I'm really looking forward to Paul's tweets, and I hope Perisic starts because otherwise he's a definite one pointer, if not zero. I don't have anybody on the bench. I don't want to take a hit for anybody else. I considered upgrading one of my defenders to someone like, let's say, Robertson or Trent Alexander-Arnold, especially Trent Alexander-Arnold, but all my defenders are playing except for Cancelo, and I don't want to take out Cancelo. I want him back anyways next game week. So my only option, my only move literally is Maddison out. Who for? I have 2 point something in the bank, so I can go much higher than Maddison. But whoever I bring this week will probably be a placeholder for Saka later or for Foden later. Probably Saka, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's Maddison out for probably Trossard. Otherwise, the team picks itself. The whole bench is not playing. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, awesome, Doc. I'm excited to see what happens. Come over to Team Trussard. We'll welcome you. And now for everybody, make sure you know the routine. It's YouTube. Everybody does it. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, hit that thumbs up, comment below. You see our Twitter handles over there. Mine's right here. Ours will be on the last page. Follow us, interact with us. Let's let's make a better community. It's already great. We can push it a step forward. And good luck this week. Doc, anything you'd like to say to the people?
Well, drop a thumbs up because we brought you some midweek content, and we're gonna bring you again for the game week 13 content. So it's coming soon, literally 3 days again. So we're putting in the work. Show us your support. Drop a thumbs up, especially subscribe. It really helps out. Shows us your support, and it's absolutely free. And we'll see everybody on the next episode.
All right, catch everybody next time. Let's get these points, people. Peace.